Everyone has certain standards below which he won't compromise. But there are times in our life when, under tricky or challenging situations, we try to squeeze in and somehow fit in. Flexibility is good. Having a flexible personality is good. But too much flexibility, well, it's very damaging to your confidence and your opinion towards yourself. Everyone has his own set of standards, and no matter how tricky or problematic the situation may become, a person should never compromise or settle below his standards. Because once you start doing so, it is very easy to get in a habit of lowering your standards. And from there, it's a slippery slope. Every time the situation gets tough, you try to compromise even further. You try to lower your standards even further. And what this does is it lowers your own worth in your eyes. It damages your confidence and your self-belief to such an extent that eventually you start having a lower opinion about yourself. And when you yourself are not very confident about yourself, how can you expect others to believe you, others to have confidence in you, others to show faith in you? No, that is never going to happen. Let me explain this by an example. See, everywhere there is a lot of competition these days. No matter what you do, there will be 10 other people doing the same thing. For example, if you are a writer, you write a very good book, you spend 6 months of your life collecting information, doing your research work, doing all the typing and editing and proofreading, designing the cover, going through all the pains of creating a book. Finally, you create a book of yours, a book that is very original, very nice, it is full of content, full of knowledge, and you know that anyone who is going to read that book is going to benefit immensely from it. And you decide that you're going to price your book at rupees 500 in the market. But once you go out there and list your book with all the enthusiasm and expectations, and then you see that after a few weeks, no sale has happened. No one has purchased a copy of your book. And then you see that there are people selling their books at a much lower price. 300 rupees, 200 rupees, 250 rupees. And then you start to think that maybe your book is not worth that much. Maybe people will not pay that much price for your book. And you start to compromise. You lower your standards. And you price a book at, say, 300 rupees. A sale doesn't happen. You lower your standards even more. You price it at 250 rupees. Now you see what you're doing here. You are lowering the worth of your own time and effort. Your time and effort is precious. It has got no value. But still, you decide to share it with others at a very small value, which you think is fit for it. Logically pricing your book was important. But once you know that you have logically priced your book, there's no point compromising over it. There's no point further lowering it down. If you feel that, yes, 500 is the right price for your book, list it over there. Once you start lowering your price and you start selling your book at dirt cheap price, people are going to consider that your book also belongs to that same category of other mediocre books that are available in the market. And that is going to harm your image as an author, which in turn is going to harm your business in the long run. And this is what people fail to realize when they start lowering their standards in order to somehow adjust to one particular situation. When you start making compromises, when you start decreasing the value of your own self, not only does your worth goes down in your eye, but other people also start perceiving you in the same manner. They also feel that you may not be worth that much as you quote. And here, you start losing your goodwill. You start losing your reputation. You start losing your respect, your authority. And this is very damaging, very harmful, and it is going to cause a lot of loss to you in the long run. So, do not compromise when it comes to your standards. Be logical. Do not be arrogant with your approach. Be logical. But once you know that this is the right thing, do not settle below it. Do not make adjustments every time in your life. Do not try to compromise to please others, to fit into some situation. There may be some situations where, you decide not to squeeze in. It is not important that everyone around you should be happy. It is not necessary that you fit in every situation. You are unique in your own way. You have your own set of expectations. You value yourself in your own way. And just because others don't understand your worth, that doesn't mean that you start gauging your worth from the perspective of people who know nothing about you. So make this decision that you are not going to make any more unnecessary compromises in your life. You're going to respect yourself, you're going to respect your standards, and you're not going to lower them down no matter what. You're not going to adjust at a level that is below par. So respect yourself, hold your head high, have some self-belief, have your confidence, know what your standards are, and stick to it.